Hello, this is Malorian. We're now on to the fourth game of the Cry Havoc tournament. We're now up to 2,400 points, which means Black Orcs, and I'm up against some Warriors of Chaos again. Alright, so this mission here was kind of crazy, and one of the coolest things, it was actually kind of a tip of the hat to one of the tournaments I've done before. I ran a tournament where you had a unit that became traitor, and that's what they had in this one here too. So basically what happens, from any point from turn 2 on, you can start trying to see which one's a traitor unit of your opponent. And what you do is, the first unit is a 6+, then a 5+, 4+, blah blah blah, and whenever you finally basically fail that roll, or whatever it is, if we're like starting with a 5+, going to a 4+, blah blah, then that one there is the traitor unit, and you basically just take it over. And so, I mean, of course, it's a little bit chancy, where, I mean, you really want to get the most powerful one, so you have to try and balance it. And the other thing too is, if you go through everything and don't get any of them, then that player is going to pick which one's the traitor unit. Now, another aspect to this is, remember, there's always kind of like the main scenario, and then there's the little 3-side objectives as well, which you really want to get because it adds to your overall battle points. Well, one of these is to not do that until the very end, till turn 5. You don't take the traitor unit. So, I mean, even though he might want my trolls, he's going to want to wait to the end to try and get that extra point. As far as to what the other ones were, I can't really remember what it was. Anyway, looking at his list here, this is a guy that really seems to love these disc riders. He, in fact, had 4 of them in his 3,000 point army. So on the left side, he has his Lord that's on a disc, then some dogs, he has a Hell Cannon, a big unit of Chaos Warriors with halberds. That cool looking model is a War Shrine of Khorne. Then he has his Khorne Marauders with great weapons, and then there's also his BSB, more dogs, another Hell Cannon, a Unicorn, because remember you can take Storm Magic, then some more Chaos Warriors, where these have 2 hand weapons, and some more dogs on the right side. So, I know from experience that my Savages will beat up the Marauders in a straight up fight. I just pretty much go first and I get to smash them. On the left side, very sure that my Trolls will just put those Warriors in their place. The Night Goblins are just there to try and hide behind the building, share the leadership, shoot out some Fanatics as needed. I actually get the Grudge Thrower this time, so I might be able to get some use out of that. And right now the Black Orcs inside the building, and their target is to pop out and deal with the Warriors on the far right. And so really, if all this falls to plan, I can then move on to the Hell Cannons and take them out. And by the way, I forgot to say that behind his War Shrine, he has another level 2 that's also on a disc. So I get first turn, and I move on up. I'm a little bit jammed up because of how I have to deal with these buildings here, and so I'm having to kind of be very careful in the way I position this. I went for Foot of Gork, and he stopped it. His turn 1, and this was a big blow to him. He went for a double charge with both his Disc Lord and his Khorne guys there, and the Khorne guys that didn't need much failed to charge. So now it's my Trolls up against a Lord all by himself, and this is just going to be an easy win. So, end of his turn, it looks like this. Pretty much what happened is that in the one combat there, I just killed him in combat, and I reformed to take a look at his Khorne guys there. He has his dogs looking to redirect my Black Orcs and block me in. The one Unicorn that's trying to get around me, and yeah, I mean, what happened is he lost his level 4 in the combat. His level 2 misfired, or miscast rather, so he died, and or didn't die. He lost all of his magic levels. So all of a sudden now, even though it's Orcs versus Tzeentch, I am dominating the magic phase. His shooting does a little bit. I mean, I lost a couple of guys, but yeah, I mean, not too much. So I'm really feeling good about this. My turn 2 then. On the far right, my wolves went into his dire wolves and killed them, went off the board. My my Black Orcs got into the wolves, and then they just kind of turned over to be looking at the warriors. I got Hand of Gork to move up my savages, so that makes it so those marauders can't get into my Black Orcs and forces them to go into my front. I also got Foot of Gorkoff that only stomped down once, but killed them. But the real surprise was my trolls going into those corn guys with halberds. Now, again, it was a type of situation where he was situated in such a way that I couldn't get all my guys in. But even with that, I mean, he's going to do some stuff to me, but I'm going to do tons back. He then turned out had to have the Flaming Banner, so he did more wounds than I expected. I did not roll as highly as I expected that I would, and then the real icing on the cake is that I lost by 1, didn't matter, I was steadfast on an 8 re-rolled, failed it, and got ran down. So whereas everything was seemed to coming together just perfectly, I just lost that 630 points, and now it's up to my Night Goblins to try and finish off some Khorne warriors. His turn 2 then, I'm just taking a picture of all these charges, so I mean this is really going to determine the fight here, because we got these 3 major fights, and I mean this is going to determine what's going to happen. So end of his turn, it looks like this. His 1 Hell Cannon is moving up. On the right side, tons of death on either side, but obviously now where I have this big unit versus just like 5 of his warriors left, I'm going to be winning that one. In the other one, you have to remember that we were kind of clipping each other, so I still killed a good number of him. My level 4 is in a challenge with his BSB, and it turns out his BSB is strength 7, which is really hurting things, so I took a wound already. And otherwise, on the left side, he kills some of me. I think I killed 1 of him, and then we hold. And then pretty much I just combat reform over my savages, so that next turn there'll be lots in base to base. My turn 3 then, this was pretty decisive. Both combats on the right, he's beaten, and, well, the Black Orcs just wipe out, the Savages had to run him down. Part of the bad news over there, though, is that his BSB was able to kill my level 4, so that was pretty disappointing. I mean, remember, he's needing to hit on 4s, so even though he has a lot of attacks, I mean, then he's wounding on 2s, and I have a 5+ ward, so I mean, oh man, I lost my level 4 again. I'm going to have to deal with this bad leadership, but at least my troll's already gone, so that's not an issue. I'm already starting to win the other combat, so that's really good. And overall, I mean, now my wolves are back, trying to shoot at some unicorns. Things are just looking pretty good right now. His turn 3, now I actually had a better picture of this, but it was, well, a better angle of it and taking it, but it was completely fuzzy, so I took it out. But basically, he went all out on the savages. So we got Hell Cannon in the front, we have a Unicorn in the flank, we have a War Shrine in the rear, and we have the level 2 in the rear. He's just trying to make sure, he has to get some points, he has to wipe this unit out. Well, really it was kind of a mistake. I mean, some of his stuff didn't roll so well. The Unicorn's an easy kill. The level 2 was also easy to kill. It was just the multiple, well, just the tons of attacks. I think as well he probably rolled a little bit poorly too. But either way, in the end, I can't remember if I won or if I lost. But either way, I held. So not good news for him with the Black Orcs staring at his flank. And also, the warriors were beaten by my Night Goblins, and they got away, but I mean, yeah, starting to fall apart for him. My turn 4, I have the Night Goblins first charge the warrior to make him flee, and then they redirect into the Hell Cannon. I think this might have been a bit of a mistake, though. I think I was getting a little bit too brave, but it's working out so far. The wolves are racing back over just so they can try and maybe shoot at that warrior to try and take him down. I do have my Grudge Thrower, but it's, you know, it's not being able to hit so far. And then the other combat, oh man, I couldn't believe this. So my Black Orcs go into the Hell Cannon and they easily go and destroy it. I mean, I already did quite a few wounds with my savages, and then the Black Orcs killed the rest of it. Now, at that point, I was out of combat. And so when you went and you calculated everything else out, it turns out that I lost combat. And so then the savages broke, the War Shrine got to chase them, caught them, and went into the flank of the Black Orcs. So that, I felt that was pretty bad luck, but I mean, what can you do? His turn 4, sorry for the bad picture, still fighting with the Hell Cannon, and the Black Orcs killed the War Shrine. Alright, my turn 5, and now this is where we're going to go and roll for these traitor stuff. And so, you know, there's another point for starting with the cheapest unit. I mean, at this point, there's not many things. It turned out in both cases that we got to pick our own trader. So what it was on my side is that he took over the stone thrower, and I thought that was perfect positioning because it means that my wolves can charge it and take it out, except that I failed this charge. But what he did to me is that the trader from his side was the stupid single warrior that was fleeing off the board. So that was just ridiculous. And of course what that means is that they're going to run off the board and give him all those points. So pretty silly, but there you have it. And otherwise my Black Orcs are moving in on the Hell Cannon. They failed to charge, and the Night Goblins are at least holding out. His turn 5, in the combat there, we're still fighting. His Grudge Thrower shoots at my wolves and misfires, and that's it. And then my turn 6, the wolves go into the War Machine, destroy it. The Black Orcs come into the Hell Cannon and destroy it, and it's a tabling. Alright, so in the end, whenever there's a tabling, it's counted as a massacre, so that was great news for me. Really, this game was kind of crazy, and I mean, it was one of those things where it seemed to be, first of all, from some of his bad luck, going way in my favor. My combats were all working out just the way I wanted them, and then just because of some key things, it all of a sudden turned around. I don't really know what else I could have done with my level 4. He pretty much had to fight that combat. Maybe I should be doing something else with him, giving him some other gear to make him more defensible, or taking a unit champ in that unit just to keep him safe. But usually I always feel pretty safe with that leadership 10, so I think I would have gone with that anyway. I mean, really, it was just a thing again where if I could have just got a few more trolls or rolled a little bit better, they would have then beaten the Chaos Warriors, or at least if I could have just held, that would have been a big difference as well. But, and then of course that weird combat where the Savages broke and you got to go into my Black Orcs. It's just one of those crazy things that happens, but in the end, at least I still got to get the win, and that means I'm back on the up and up. So, good news for me, and it was lots of fun, so thanks for watching. Bye.